Alright, ladies and gentlemen, it's Dr.SammyG in the house. I am back, baby. I am back. So today's topic, ladies and gentlemen, is no other than creatine. See, there's a problem today. A lot of people, usually I call them the conspiracy theorists, they usually suspect and claim that creatine is correlated with hair loss. So in other words, most of these people think that if you take creatine as a supplement, it can cause hair loss, and that means you have to go to Turkey for hair transplantation. Now, where does this come from? And how did it all start and begin with this type of suspicions and conspiracy theory? First of all, what is creatine? What is creatine? You see, creatine is actually a substance that is stored in the muscle cell with the purpose of producing energy when you're doing explosive type of training and movements. So that's the purpose of creatine. However, there's some people that use creatine as a supplement with the purpose of increasing muscular performance, increasing muscular strength, and also increasing the muscular hypertrophy. Now, how come that some people claim that creatine can cause hair loss? What is the reason? Well, here's the thing. It all started in 2009. It was a study that published in 2009 where they gathered a sample size of 20 rugby players. I think it was 20. Yeah, it's 20. 20 rugby players. And the purpose of this study was to see how creatine was affecting their exercise and at the same time see if there was some correlation with the level of testosterone. So when it comes to the procedure of this study, what the rugby players was doing during this study was they were consuming creatine 25 grams a day for 7 days, and then they were taking 5 grams a day for additional 14 days. And what they found out during that study was the level of a substance called DHT, Dihydrotestosterone, increased significantly with 56% for the first 7 days, and then it increased 40% above the baseline for the upcoming 14 days. Now, what is DHT? DHT is actually a metabolite of testosterone, and it is converted from testosterone to DHT with an enzyme called 5-alpha reductase. Now, what DHT does is it actually binds to a receptor in the hair follicle, causing it to shrink and thereby creating hair loss. So with this study, they suspected that because they were using creatine, it caused an increase of DHT, and hence that DHT can cause hair loss. Now, first of all, there are some observations and contradictions in this study that one can question and also thereby disagree with the fact that creatine is not correlated with hair loss. Number one, in this study, the level of free testosterone was not measured in this study. It's actually the free testosterone that converts to dihydrotestosterone. So if you don't measure the free level of testosterone, it's going to be very hard to conclude that it's the level of testosterone with the help of creatine that has been causing the DHT to increase. Furthermore, they were also measuring the total testosterone in these rugby players, and it was not increased. So if you don't have an increased total level of testosterone, the probability is very low that creatine has caused the increase of DHT. Number two, if you look at the study, even though DHT was increased, nevertheless, it was still within the normal clinical limits. So it was still in the so-called reference interval. It was still in the normal range, and consequently, it hasn't increased significantly to that level that it's outside the reference interval. In other words, it's still normal. It has increased, but it's still in the normal range. Number three, if you look at this study, it was actually a small sample. It was only 20 people that was in this study, 20 rugby players, and that sample size, which is that small, it's very hard to conclude that the question that has been answered in this study has a high validity. It's not very reliable, in other words. And number four, you see, here's the thing. They were doing intensive training in this study. These rugby players were doing high volume, high intensive training. In other words, that type of high intensive training is also going to result in high level of androgenic hormones. So in other words, you can't conclude that creatine is the reason to why DHT level is increasing. It could also be the fact that the high level of intensive training is also causing high level of androgenic hormones. Now, when you do a study, you want to replicate that study to get the same type of results so that the reliability of this study is verified. And they have actually been trying to replicate this study multiple times. And actually 12 other studies have been trying to investigate the creatine supplementation in correlation to level of testosterone and DHT. 2 studies reported small, physiologically insignificant increases in total testosterone after 6 and 7 days of supplementations, while the remaining 10 studies reported no change in testosterone concentrations. In 5 of these studies, free testosterone, which the body uses to produce THT, was also measured and no increases were found. In other words, they've replicated this study multiple times without concluding and getting the same result. And hence, one can conclude after several attempts with doing the same type of study that creatine is not correlated to high level of testosterone and high level of DHT. And thereby, one can conclude as well that creatine is not correlated to hair loss. That means it's a myth. And to all you people out there that blame creatine for hair loss, let me tell you something. Get out of here. Get out of here.
Do me a favor, please. Get out of here. Get out of here, man. Shit, I'm saying.
Who do you think you are, bro? Who do you think you are? Don't blame creatine, bro. I've been taking creatine for the past 8 years, bro. Look at me, bro. Look at me. Look at my fade, bro. Shout out to my barber that makes me fresh every week. Makes me fresh every week. And you think creatine is the reason why I can't get a good fade? Get out of here. Get out of here. Listen, if you have hair loss, it's not because of creatine. You're probably a guy from Middle East. You need to go to Turkey. You have genetical predisposition of getting a hair loss, and thereby you need hair transplantation. You need to go to Turkey, bro. Don't blame the creatine. Blame yourself, blame your genetics, blame your family, blame your family tree, not creatine, bro. I've been taking creatine for the past 10 years. I feel good. I look good. I feel good. My hair is still on the peak. I'm still at the peak when it comes to my beauty. All praise to God. So at the end of the day, don't blame creatine, bro. Blame yourself, blame your genetics, blame your family tree. It is not creatine. So keep taking the creatine 5 grams every day. You're not going to lose the hair because of the creatine. You're going to lose the hair because of your genetics. That's it. Or maybe have a stressful lifestyle. You see, I'm approaching 30. And, thank God I haven't lost some hair yet. But, due to my stress lifestyle, this work is killing me from time to time. I got some chicks on my mind 24/7 that are giving me some headaches, caffeine, all that lifestyle and these external factors can also contribute to my hair loss. But hey, if I lose the hair, I'm going to Turkey. That's it. I have nothing to be ashamed of. Or it might be a bald-headed guy who will give you some medical advice. Either that or that, it doesn't matter. But it is what it is, bro. It is what it is. So all in all, bro, creatine does not create hair loss. Take that creatine, nothing's gonna happen. And if you get a hair loss, it's not because of creatine, it's because of your genetics and other environmental factors. All right, so that's it with the video. I hope you guys have a great day. You take care of yourself, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace out.